Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh placed the trusted ally of the DMK, gives them time by reserving 2 seats in the region. A brave M. Karunanidhi says the reshuffle is not complete yet and adds the issue of DMK ministries that will be discussed in the forthcoming General Council meet. So even as the Executive Committee meeting of the DMK comes up in 11 days, the ruling party pushes theirs to the end of the month, a tactical move. A division bench of the Madras High Court says that assets of IAS officers are declarable under the RTI.
An applicant asking for the assets declaration, the IPRs of any IAS officer by name will have to be allowed to inspect the asset declaration or even be given copies of it.
The State Cabinet retains the creamy layer within the ambit of the 69% reservation in the state. A government order is passed after the resolution. Actress Ranjita files a complaint against a section of the media for featuring footage allegedly of hers, but media sources named by her deny charges. After fueling auto growth, the state government gives a sprawling 50 acres at the bustling Oragadam to Aisha. Good evening and welcome to Headlines now on Ndtv-Hindu with me, Evelyn Matthew. Lots that's made it to the headlines tonight. It's a packed Tuesday night. We promise you we will be getting you each and every bit of that story. In fact, the DMK may be touchy at this point, but Dr. Manmohan Singh has played Superman and come to the rescue. That apart, lots you should watch out for in the next 30 minutes. Let's also bring you the national headlines at this hour. In UPA2's reshuffle, 7 new faces figure. Jairam Ramesh gets promoted and hands over charge to Ndtv-Hindu. Sachan's boss, former CMO Shukla, is arrested in Lucknow for financial irregularities in the handling of the National Rural Health Mission. 6-year-old Roshan, whose mother went missing after the Kalka train disaster, is reunited with her father, but her mother is dead. And on a road trip from Mumbai, the cast of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara finally end their journey in Gurgaon. Just when we were beginning to think about the missing southern ally of the UPA in the big swearing-in picture today and whether it started to speak of cracks in the 7-year-long marriage of these two stalwart parties, the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, came to the rescue. Right after the big reshuffle today, Dr. Manmohan Singh has said that 2 seats have been reserved for the DMK. While the top political leader in the country looked accommodating with the DMK today, he has also asked the party to come out with their decision soon enough. Speaking on the reshuffle, Dr. Singh hoped that it was the last major reshuffle before going to the polls. But in a very significant statement back home from here in Gopalapuram today, the DMK patriarch looked optimistic as he said that the reshuffle was not complete just yet. This was a statement that was made earlier this afternoon. But at the same time, he quashed all speculations, confirming that he did not ask UPA's troubleshooter Pranab Mukherjee, who was in the city last weekend, for any replacements for Dayanidhi Maran or even Raja. But the one that got a lot of attention and a lot of eyes rolling was when the former top man in the city said categorically that he would decide on issues related to the centre, including Kannimuri, as well as ministries in the General Council meeting in 11 days, that's on the 23rd and the 24th of this month, that's aimed at the road ahead for the DMK as well as some intense soul searching for the party. Meanwhile, in what may be seen as a tactic move, the AIA-DMK has decided to postpone its own executive meet to the 30th of July. That's just a week after the DMK's own meeting. This is the first big meeting after the thumping win and the victory for the AIA-DMK this May polls. In news from the big cabinet reshuffle that took place today, Jairam Ramesh has left the Environment Ministry, albeit with a promotion. And Veerappa Moily has been replaced as Law Minister by Salman Khurshid. Let's just get you some more details. In fact, Jairam Ramesh, credited with revving up the Environment Ministry, has been promoted to the cabinet rank with the Critical Rural Development Ministry. But the 4 big ministries, Finance, Defence, Home and External Affairs, remain unchanged. And as anticipated, no replacements have been announced for the vacancies created by Dayanidhi Maran or even A. Raja, both from the DMK, who have resigned over corruption charges. Mr. Moily, who will move now to Corporate Affairs, exits the Law Ministry at a time when the government has been reprimanded in a glut of cases by the Supreme Court. Jayanti Natarajan, former Congress spokesperson, will now handle the high-profile Environment Ministry as a Minister of State with independent charge. As expected, Dinesh Trivedi of the Trinamool Congress has been given the Railways Ministry, a cabinet rank post vacated by his party chief Mamata Banerjee after she was elected West Bengal's chief minister. Milind Deora, Mumbai's young MP, has been made the Minister of State for Communications and Information Technology. Now moving back to the state for some local news, the Madras High Court has reserved the judgment in the common syllabus case as per the directions of the Chief Justice. The arguments of both sides concluded today. The first bench heard the case for almost 20 hours since last Thursday. The minutes of the 9-member expert committee meeting on common syllabus was also submitted as directed by the court. The government side argued that the state government has not abandoned the uniform syllabus of education as claimed. On the petitioner's side, though, it was argued that the action was politically motivated and it was a misuse of legislative power by the present AIADMK regime.
The earlier committee constituted by the DMK government has approved the syllabus as well as the textbooks on the one and the same day. It is unfair. It reveals that the committee constituted by the DMK government did not apply the mind without application of mind routinely and without knowing the contents of the syllabus and without knowing the quality of the textbook and without taking into account the welfare of the student of the Tamil Nadu, it has been approved.
Now, after judges and politicians, IAS officers are the next to be asked to in fact exhibit transparency to the people of India. The Madras High Court passed orders today in a writ appeal filed by an RTI activist against exempting IAS officials from declaring their assets. In fact, the petitioner had declared that being government servants, these officers should have to be open as well. The current stand until now has been that the State Information Commission ruled against declaration of assets of IAS officials. This was earlier upheld by a single judge of the Madras High Court, but now comes against that particular order.
Now the details is the appellant Madhav had asked for information on the assets details declared under the government service conduct rules, which every IAS officer is supposed to declare, and it is kept in a sealed cover. He had asked for those details vis-a-vis 10 IAS officers from the Tamil Nadu cadre. Now, it was denied to him by the public information officer on grounds that it is covered under some secrecy clause under section 81J of the Right to Information Act. Now, he went on appeal, and finally the Information Commission also held that non-disclosure is legally fine. Now, we actually filed a writ petition against the Information Commission's order, and the writ petition was dismissed, against which there was a writ appeal. And today, division bench consisting of Justice D. Murugesan and Justice K.K. Sasidharan ordered that information pertaining to assets by IAS officers has to be disclosed under the Right to Information Act, and that, keeping in view a whole lot of Supreme Court judgments on the right to information and transparency in governance, the division bench today said, set aside whatever was dismissed, the dismissal order by the single judge, and held that this information has to be disclosed, and said that an applicant asking for the assets declaration, the IPRs of any IAS officer by name, will have to be allowed to inspect the asset declaration or even be given copies of it, even though they are in a sealed cover, in the interest of transparency and in the interest of democracy.
Moving on, in quite a significant move by the Chief Minister J.J. Lalitha today, the Tamil Nadu Cabinet has decided against the exclusion of the creamy layer from the ambit of 69% reservation that's been practiced here in the state. The Tamil Nadu Backward Classes Commission had collected data regarding this particular creamy layer following orders by the Supreme Court. Amma had said that it was the Commission's decision not to amend the 1994 Act for the particular reservation that was designed for reservation benefits. A government order has been passed for this cabinet resolution. In a move to improve the living conditions of Dalit students at hostels across the state, Amma ordered an allocation of rupees 76.33 crore rupees to around 1,059 Dalit student hostels across Tamil Nadu. The ruling AIADMK had in fact promised in its election manifesto that attention would be directed to such hostels and their refinement. Ndtv-Hindu reported on the poor living conditions of these students at government-run hospitals, and in a great sign of relief, the Chief Minister ordered a review of these hostels soon after assuming office earlier in May. She also said that 1,059 out of these 1,294 hostels were found lacking in basic amenities and infrastructure, and reiterated that this amount would go towards maintenance and infrastructure at these hostels. Up ahead on headlines now, the state's auto market gets a new boost. Aisha to set up shop after Nissan and Peugeot's success stories.